say hello. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the morning. All right. So today we're gonna be working still on this bad boy over here, and then hopefully, get everything up and running. Yeah. So today I'm also gonna do a little walk afterwards because I need to stretch my leg. So let's see. I want this. I want that. And I want this. Yes, thank you. And why is this that? That is not the one that I want. I need this one. Yes. Alright. Then I need to get the color that I had before, which is this color right here. Thank you. Now we can continue. So today we're going to be working on on the lines over here, get this thing all fixed up, and then we move onward to the next part of it. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. So let's do it. Let's see. Is this the right size? Yes, it is. Alright, cool. It's lovely that this one is actually always the right size, but I need to zoom out a little bit more. So yeah, today I actually am working on, the drawing again. I woke up. This time it was actually better. Um, this time I actually stayed in bed, watched the time go by, and see that it was almost 10 o'clock. So technically, yes, I am not very good at calculating when I need to go out of bed, but I always have like a alarm clock on 7 o'clock. So yeah, it's a great clock, by the way. It's a great number. It's great amount of gibberish coming out of it. So I don't mind at all. Anyway, so yeah, I'm working on the drawing here itself, getting the texture in. The funny thing is actually that textures is if you use textures on a drawing, it will create better. Well, it doesn't create better looks of the drawing itself, but if you create textures upon, if you use heavy textures on a skin or on a hide or on feathers, whatever, they will look more realistic. And already a small amount of texture actually creates a lot of effects, which makes it even better because the amount of texture you can make on a drawing is all up to you. Just don't go overboard, because if you use too much textures, then you're gonna lose detail. And well, I'm using this texture and then use big outlines to represent the color. Of course, I'm probably gonna be using a different color on the outlines than on the texture itself. So I need to make sure that since I'm doing it anyway like this, I need to make sure that I realize like, oh well, if I'm drawing the outlines, I'm not supposed to draw them too vaguely, well, not too transparent. Ugh, this thing is hard to do. Wonder if I even can lower it down to 3 or something and then use it again. Like, would that work? Well, it saves a lot of blurriness, so I guess I'll keep it. But no, I need to go for 5. Alright. Fine. I'll go for the 5 then, since the other one is not good enough. So yeah, the amount of stuff I do, also I'm learning to get better at, talking. It is important to keep on talking. Non-stop talking actually makes things more interesting to see, even though, most of the times you're thinking and talking at the same time, which leads to terrible conversations. Because you're talking and thinking at the same time, you cannot get, real good. Well, you can only get the raw thoughts in and not the things that you want to talk about. Even though, I'm not a very talkative person at all. I'm like more like a, I like to talk, but only if it is about things that I like. For instance, if we're gonna be talking about dinos, yeah, sure. Well, that's a fun subject. I have like encyclopedias of it. If you want to talk about animals, yeah, sure. Go ahead. I don't mind. But don't talk to me with I don't know. Uh what is a good thing what I don't want to talk about? Cars. Yes, I have zero knowledge on cars, so it's like, that's a car, right? Yep, you're talking about cars. Well, I know one thing they can do, that's drive, and apparently the seat belts work for safety. And if you put the seat backs wrongfully on, you die if you go into a tumble. So, that's the thing I know. I know about safety. I don't know about, cars in particular. I know about the safety things that they have, and they can be lethal and dangerous if you don't use them correctly. But yeah, don't talk to me with, things that I have zero interests in or zero knowledge of. For instance, I might be like I'm a tolerated person. Like, I don't mind if you talk about something that you really love or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, sure, go ahead, talk about it. I'm sure I know something about it eventually, and I do like to have commit myself to find new, or well, find myself new uh knowledge. Let's put it that way, knowledge. Even though the knowledge might not be correctly or great, whatever, it's still knowledge nonetheless. And the amount of stuff that people talk about, it all depends on what it is and what it isn't. And for instance, I have a friend, for instance, that she talked about Rapunzel, and I was like, "Where you mean the series I watched?" And she was just like, "Oh my god, you watched it?" It's like, I was bored, so why wouldn't I watch it? If I watch TV, it's always like, this series is on, this series is on, and then the instant regret of watching the series and seeing like, well, this is bad, this is a bad series, this is a good series, and then you realize like, well, at least this series has character development in it. Jeez Louise. I don't say that Rapunzel is a bad example, because Rapunzel is actually quite a good. The series of it is actually quite good. Lots of character development in it, and lots of stuff. And I don't mind it. That a lot is like, it's like a comedy action series. So a lot of stuff is just comedy or action or both, and then you have some drama in it in the end, and well, that's good. That's all right. I don't mind that. the main problem I always face with these things is like, wow, all right, cool, that looks awesome, and in the end, it does. I I was a very happy person when it came to figuring out sawing things in and watching new series. It's sometimes the series totally sucks and you're like, why the fuck did I watch this? And sometimes it's like, oh my god, no. And then other times it's like, eh, it's all right. It's not bad. It's not good either, but it's all right. It's a show that you will watch once, and then if you see the episode a second time, it's like, no, no, thank you. That's most likely my approach. That's mostly my approach at most series anyway. So yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing, alright? That's a thing I do. I'm not a very nice person when it comes to forgiveness or anything else. I hold grudges really long. I wonder why. Because I'm a stubborn goat, apparently. I'm like a real goat. If you betrayed me once, it's like meh. I will not forgive you this time. Meh. Yeah, that actually leads to some kind of sometimes to problems, and well, problems are there to be there. So, come on. Ugh. A little bit gassy there. Sorry. There. Anyway, so what I was thinking about the main problem that when I watch TV, it's like commercial, commercial break, and it's like, stop it already with the commercials. I already have saw every single commercial you showed me 20 times over, and it gets really annoying. It gets ridiculously annoying. And I don't mind it. I really don't mind. Watching commercials. It's just boring. It's really boring. It's like, what you could do is like do nothing, and then it still would be better than watching the commercial. Looking at your dog or looking at the window outside is better than watching commercials most of the time, because the commercials are so um, attention hugging particles of light. There you go. They're really obnoxious. Hey, I found a word. Woo! I am getting better at this. So yeah, the main issue I always face when it comes to uh, watching stuff or looking at stuff, I realize like I saw good series, I saw bad series, yes, and when I compare them to now, it's like a dice you can throw down and realize like, well, is this gonna work? Well, probably not. Probably it's gonna be cancelled after the first season. It's either it's getting cancelled because it's too good, or it's gonna get 3 seasons of terrible, 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 terrible writing. Hmm. 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 Well, that's a problem. And yeah, that's the mentality these days. It's either fucked up or it's gonna be fucked up in the last season, which then nothing makes sense anymore, and your whole damn series is ruined. Yeah, that is most likely happening. But that happens when things get too popular, and when things get popular, other opinions also matter, and so things get out of hand. Which is of course not handy. Yeah, there you go. Terrible joke there. Um, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just drawing here and thinking and talking at the same time, and I think I did actually a good job on that. I think I did a good job. I wonder if this is enough. Is this too light or is this too dark? Both. Might be both. Both. It needs to have both. Alright, both it needs. That's a bummer. Because, you know, it's really hard sometimes to draw correctly. There you go. Fix that part. So yeah, the amount of stuff that is produced does not compete with the amount of stuff that is good. And if you make a sandwich, for instance, and you make this sandwich really fast and you produce 10 of them, but none of them taste good. They all taste like, I don't know, what is the worst thing I hate? They all taste like apple straw. There you go. They all taste like apple syrup. Yeah, great. Great taste of a sandwich, an apple syrup sandwich. Ugh. Ugh. Just horrible. Some people might like it. Some people are addicted to apple syrup. Maybe. I don't know. And those people are like, yeah, you can do it. You can make a lot of sandwiches out of it and make money. But you're gonna lose those people who hate apple syrup sandwiches. Those people will be gone. They will be like, you know, we will forgive you this time, and then the next time it's like, no, we're gonna make more apple syrup sandwiches. This one is special. It has now also mayonnaise on it. So it's apple syrup with mayonnaise. Even worse than the one they made before. And so, you know, then everybody's like, what did you make another sandwich? We told you that we don't want this sandwich. Well, according to these people, you guys want these sandwiches. And it's like, but no, God no. And then eventually, you know, all these apple sandwiches don't sell anymore because apparently, you know, you lost the majority of watching people, and you're thinking like, was it me that made these apple sandwiches? What went wrong? And then everybody's like, well, you made apple sandwiches. That was wrong. That was what went wrong. And then the person's like, no, it must have been the viewers. They were wrong. I did not do anything wrong. And then, you know, all these apple sandwiches are terrible. They are the worst case of scenario. And you have this whole damn shitload of terrible apple sandwiches. And then one day, a person comes in and makes a normal sandwich. And everybody's like, wow, that's a normal sandwich. So all the other people that just, you know, were no longer a fan of your great apple sandwiches, you know, they move on. And you lose a lot of money out of it because, you know, those apple sandwiches don't sell anymore. And you're like, wait a minute, this guy is making sandwiches normally. He must have immense, you know, knowledge about sandwich making. And so what you do, of course, you bribe him, and then, you know, you sell his soul to the devil, and then you take over his business, and then it's like, boom, aha, I have this sandwich now. And then, well, you know, well, you make your sandwich again. So you're gonna make your apple sandwiches again, and everybody's like, what? I thought this was a normal sandwich program. Yes, but now it's with apple syrup again. And then everybody's like, oh my god, what the hell is going on? So all the people that moved on from the franchise, are gonna get murdered again, or gonna get disappointed because, you know, somehow you, with your sticky claws, came again and stole the apple syrup. Well, stole the sandwich. And, well, you know, you made your own apple syrup sandwiches because there can only be apple syrup sandwiches. And eventually, you know, people are gonna get pissed. And they are gonna get lit. And, well, you know, you get angry. You're like, what? I gave you the apple sandwich. Isn't not good? And then everybody's like, no, no, it's not good because you put mayonnaise on it and you also put, I don't know, sticks on it. And sticks are not digestible in the feet in my mouth. So why would I even buy these sandwiches if I cannot even eat them correctly? They give me bad teeth. They really ruin me. And then you're like, no, you must be wrong. I made this apple sandwich combination perfect. You must be the one that caused all of this. And then everything is gonna be like, what? No, the apple sandwich is terrible. And, you know, eventually somebody is gonna make another sandwich, but this time he's not gonna sell his soul to the person that's making the apple sandwiches. And he's gonna say like, oh, well, how long you gonna beg or cry or whatever, or want to give me money for it, I'm not gonna sell these apple sandwiches. And you're gonna be like, but I can give you like $1 million for this for this sandwich you made. This normal sandwich. Don't you want this? And then he's like, no, I don't want your sticky hands upon my sandwich. And eventually, you know, you're gonna be like, well, fine, I will make my own stuff. And then, you know, your stuff doesn't sell because everybody is sick and tired of you making your sandwiches. And these sandwiches are terrible because, you know, they don't have good taste, or they look like an abomination from another world. I don't know, you get the point. And eventually, you know, you lose your whole damn company because you were too focused upon, you know, seeing too blindly to see that the apple sandwich didn't work. Apparently, some people don't want this. Some people hate it. Some people don't love this. Why? Oh, why? And eventually, you know, you're gonna get broke, and then, you know, you lose your whole damn company because you went too greedy you went too greedy, you went too obnoxious. You wanted everything. You wanted all the sandwiches. You wanted to have the sandwich empire of doom. And, well, you know, that was not happening because somehow somebody was refusing your call to sandwich mayhem. And eventually, you know, some people are, you know, making another fortune out of it and was not listening to, you know, your sandwich mayhem nonsense. And this guy is just gonna be, or well, this girl, whatever. This producer is just gonna be like, well, I'm just making sandwiches, man. I'm just making sandwiches. I'm making good sandwiches. I'm not gonna make the best sandwiches, but I'm making good sandwiches. And everybody's gonna be happy again. But then, you thought like, wait a minute. I already have the recipe for my sandwich. How dare he is making sandwiches? And then you're gonna go to court with him. And then, well, you know, you have this court about sandwiches. And all the sandwiches are, you know, tossed aside. And the court is saying, no, sir, you cannot make these sandwiches because they belong to the sandwich man. With the sandwich empire. And he's like saying, well, fine, I will stop making these sandwiches because apparently they all have been taken already. You know what I'm gonna make? I'm gonna make some pie. And so he's gonna go to the pie business, and apparently, you know, the pie business is blooming, and you're like, I have all the sandwiches again. So you're gonna be abusing the power of the sandwich, and people are first thinking like, maybe he has changed his heart, and then it's like, no, again, with mayonnaise and apple syrup, and, well, you know, everybody was already sick and tired of apple syrup, but this time it was apple syrup plus. Ooh, very spooky. So, yeah, the man with the pie business just makes another pie business, and, well, you know, he makes the whole pie empire, and he was like, well, you know, this is going well. And then your empire is again like, wait, why is nobody going back again to apple sandwiches? What is wrong with me? And then you realize like, oh no, they all went to the pie business. How is this possible? And this time, you can't. This time you cannot sue you know, the apple pie company, because you know they're not sandwiches, and you're like, I'm getting broke. I need a new idea. You know what? I'm gonna steal it. And so you make your own apple pie sandwich mayhem. And so you combine your apple pie combination. Well, you're gonna combine your apple syrup with apple pie, and then apparently, you know, that doesn't bloom. And you wasted millions upon millions upon millions on finding the right idea. You cannot find it because apparently lots of people don't want to work with you anymore. Somehow you were too forceful upon gaining ground, and you know you ruined your own damn future. And that's how the apple sandwich syrup man came to an end. I believe that's how the story goes. The apple pie sandwich man. Well, the apple syrup man. Yeah. The apple syrup man with his sandwiches of doom. It's a very tragic story though, because you know, it's totally not relatable. See? I can make good stories. They just, you know, they are on the fly, whatever. I can keep on talking about apple sandwiches, whatever. It's good. It's good stuff. Ah, good old fashioned stuff of apple pie sandwiches, man. Oh well, you know. Ah, well, that was actually quite fun to talk about. I must say, I was so like, how can I make a story on the fly? Ah, yes. I'll just take a real thing and then, you know, make it totally sound ridiculous, and then you realize, like, oh, wait, it is not ridiculous at all anymore. Oh, well. You know, don't want to complain anything anyway. Don't want to complain about everything. But yeah, I tried to do my very best upon getting everything done. I'm trying to do my very best upon getting better at, you know, drawing. And hopefully, you know, let's take a look at this. I want to see. Are those things correctly done? Correctly placed? Yes, they are. Awesome. Oh, I need to lower my thickness on this. Ah, damn it. Well, you know that happens. You know that happens if you need to like. I need to use thickness, but I don't need to use thickness like that. I don't want to go for. I need to use thickness, but I don't need to use thickness that much. I don't know how to say this. I need this kind of approach, not the circle kind of approach. I forgot about that. You know, even I am not perfect at making perfect patterns. That's the whole damn thing. If I would have made perfect patterns, I would have already told you how to do it, but, you know, I'm not. I know I can use stamps or something like that, but I'm like, nah, stamps are good, but no. Normally you use stamps to create a pattern, but then, you know, if you use the stamps to match, the pattern will actually not be looking like a pattern anymore, because, you know, you repeat the same thing all over again. Which then, you know, doesn't create this effect of realistic approach on skin or hide. Like, for instance, if I'm gonna go for come on. There you go. And there. Alright, cool. So, the main idea of, making sure that everything works fine, or everything, keeping myself, busy with talking, is like, what do I want to talk about? Well, apparently I've been talking about sandwiches today, and well, you know, not every sandwich is the same. I prefer I prefer not eating sandwiches because I'm like, I'm not a fan of sandwiches at all. I actually like to go for toast and then go for cheese toasts. So just casual old-fashioned cheese on an old bread and then bake it into a pan and use, butter and then bake yourself some nice ass cheese toast. Oh yeah, that's the spirit. So yeah, that's what I'm doing normally. I really like, making or using old bread to get the old stuff back again. So the funny thing is, like, I only do it once we don't have cheese anymore in house. So we have like a little bit of cheese left, and then I'm like, I'm taking the pan and make some cheese toast, and then oh, make sure that it is golden brown, and then on both sides, and then you have the perfect cheese. Then you have the perfect amount of cheese and the perfect amount of bread that is like crispy. And then when you open it, it's like, melting inside. It's like, oh, ha, lovely. That's my favorite kind of approach. Also, did you know that, by the way, that I have a cooking book at home? Probably you do, but the cooking book actually is from 1999. Yeah, in the 90s. So it's like a cooking book for the old 1920s or 1950s, one of the two. So it's like a really old book, but it's a really good book because it actually tells you a lot of recipes. So like how to make soup, how to barbecue, how to proper put down a dinner table if you have like rich guests arriving, making cocktails, making certain types of beer. So like Irish coffee, something like that. So it has a lot of cool recipes. Like for instance, cucumber soup. What? Yes, cucumber soup. Apparently that's a thing in Russia. You can make cucumber soup, and well, it does taste decent. I must say myself, I made it myself, and it was good. I even made myself some chili, some chili, no, not chili con carne. I believe it was just normal tomato soup, or no, pumpkin soup. Yeah, there you go, pumpkin soup. Yeah, pumpkin. That was also good, and also one of my favorite recipes in there is actually a stew, a deer stew. So it's like wild deer, combine it with potatoes and ingredients that increase the flavor. Oh, it's so good. It's so how do you say that? It's very watery, so you really have like water teeth once you eat it. So it's really sweet. I never expected it to be sweet. I always expected it to be like, oh well, just tastes like beef, and then instantly it was like, oh my god, what the hell? That's not beef at all. So yeah, I kind of went looking into it. Also, there is some things like making pies is also a thing there. Making gelatina. So gelatina recepts, ice cream, also one of the things. Like how you make ice cream and all that stuff. How to prepare fish, how to cook meat, how to what kind of spices you need. All that stuff is in there. The funny thing is actually, by the way, it's an old Dutch, so it's not in the regular Dutch. No, it's old Dutch. It's the Dow and how and who. Yes, it's like old English, but then a little bit less confusing in my book. So it's quite funny to see like the old words being used again. It's like, oh my god, what does this mean? What the hell does this mean? And then I go to the butcher, and the butcher doesn't know. But when I go to the butcher's father, he says, well, that's actually this. And then I'm like, huh, alright, thanks, mate. It's quite funny when you just go to the shop, when you go to the supermarket and you have this book with you and be like, I need this, and everybody's looking at you like, why are you taking a book with you in a fucking supermarket? It's like, what? What is he doing? I even had once like, I even once the Chinese fry well, there's a Chinese man who well, there's a Chinese woman and Chinese man who runs the uh how do you say that, snack bar. There you go, snack bar. Who runs the snack bar in our village. Yeah, I will put it into town, village, whatever. It's tiny. It's like really tiny, this place. I can walk into it and then walk out of it. But yeah, so I came across. I even came across once. I wanted to once make rice, and I actually showed them like what I'm gonna be making, and they said like, "Oh yes, this is actually quite good." So yeah, the fun thing about making these things is like you meet people and you know people, because I know everybody in my fucking town. It's like really ridiculous. Everybody knows everybody, and there is nothing you can hide from them. Because if something goes on or something is off, they will, everybody's gonna be, and then you have everything that you need. So every single time I'm going shopping or something, I meet someone, and every single time I'm going shopping, I also hear every fucking story that has been going on in my town. It's like, interesting. Yes. Oh, wait, what? The police actually came by at this place to find a hidden cache of drugs in this apartment? Interesting. Huh. And then it's like, oh no, little Billy is getting arrested. Oh no, not Billy. Yeah, something like that, It's quite it's quite it's quite good to have like, a whole damn village being able to know everything. But yeah, it's a lot of control, and it's a very safe place. Even my friends, some of my friends, well, one of my friends is actually agreeing upon like, yeah, you're lucky that you're living in that village of yours instead of instead of the city, because holy hell, what the hell, I cannot even walk outside at night, or I will get robbed. It's like, well, that sucks for you, mate. Not my problem, but holy shit, that's bad. Yeah, we do have like these places that are not very friendly at night. It's like if I want to do a night walk, I can do that. I can freely do it here. There is nothing that's gonna stop me. Nobody's that's gonna be bothering me. Nobody's gonna be watching me, or nobody's gonna be following me. That's how. That's how this village works. It's very safe because everybody knows everybody. Nobody takes nobody nobody everybody stands up for each other. And if something goes if something goes wrong, people are helping you out. And there is always somebody watching you. Trust me. in this village, everybody knows everybody, so everybody knows that, you know, you always need to say hello or hi, and then, you know, you walk by and it's like, oh, good morning, and then, you know, everybody else is gonna be saying good morning as well. It's quite fun. It's great. It's a great place. Sadly, you know, the only downside is like, well, your privacy is a little bit in shambles because, you know, everybody knows everybody and everybody knows what's going on. If you start talking, you know, everybody will know it eventually. So if I talk to Hank, and then, you know, Sasha will know about Hank telling that I was telling Hank, you know, about my 3D collection, my 3D figures of, I don't know, Superman, whatever. She will know it, and she is of course a Superman fan, and she's like, oh my god, you actually collect those things? And it's like, yeah. And then of course, you know, then Barry knows also about it, and Barry's like, oh my god, wait, what? You guys are both fan of it? Huh. Well, I have a train collection. And then, of course, you know, Sarah's gonna be telling Harold about, you know, the train collection. And then it's like, oh no, the train collection? What kind of train collection? And you get that point. It's like, oh no, COVID has struck this guy or this girl. And then everybody in the fucking town knows, like, yeah, you need to stay away from this person or this person or this person or this person. And then, you know, everything is like, oh, well, that's actually quite handy dandy. So yeah, living in a place where everybody knows everybody, living in a place where everybody knows everything that's going on in your town is really good. Of course, you know, most of the young people, so the mid 16s and near 18, are always going away from the town because they actually want to do partying and all that stuff. Well, you know, the old gang of, you know, people are always sitting or going to the church or whatever. And then there is me, just, you know, casually sitting at home, drawing or whatever, or going outside, taking a walk and see everything what's going on. It's quite cool that I can actually do a big giant. I can actually walk around the town, and then it's like 6 kilometers done, and then I re-enter the town after the 6 kilometers. So I can do a long walk around it, and that's actually quite cool because I'm actually near the end of the town, so I can actually walk outside, go into the forest or whatever, do a forest walking, and then go back in. It's quite cool. I love that, you know, then I also see all the farmers in the area. And, well, you know, these farmers are also great. They are really friendly and all that stuff. They always, and then, you know, you come back and you see your neighbor working on this or that. And then the other neighbor is like, what is he doing again? He is making noise. And I'm like, hey, hey, neighbor, what are you doing, man? It's like, well, I'm building this and this and this, and it's like, nice. It's so funny. You have this neighbor who's like, huh, what is this person doing? And I'm just, you know, the casual dude who's like, huh, this person is doing something nice. Because, you know, you have like really old people near you, and then you have like this person who is like working on his house, making sure that everything is working because he bought the house and now he's reinventing it. No, redoing it. So he's like, you know, building up and creating stuff, like, you know, a new bed, a new he's just removing old stuff and placing new stuff in the house. Done. There you go. Yeah. I have no time for thinking here. Well, I do have time for thinking, but not like that. I'm too lazy now to look up some of the things. Anyway, so yeah, it's actually quite cool to see, like, you have the old timers, and then you have like me just doing whatever I do, and then you have your neighbor or some old neighbor coming back, from the same town, coming on to visit you with, cup of coffee or cup of tea, and then they're talking about, yeah, Jerry is busy again. Oh, Jerry, and then you get the whole point here. It's it's quite it's quite fun to see, like, everybody everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows what the hell is going on, because everything is gonna be, talked about. And well, I believe once the because there is gonna be a vote again, because it is 4 years already again. So we need to vote for the uh, politicians again. So it's gonna be again a vote for politicians. And guess who am I gonna vote for? Well, I'm gonna be voting again for, the uh, the group for the animals. Why I'm always voting for the group of animals? Because then I can go to the McDonald's and eat some nuggets. So yeah, that's how I do things. I'm not taking that at all seriously. I mean it. I'm always doing that. It's like, why are you doing this? It's like, it's a total shame. It's not where they stand for. They actually stand for the opposite. Yes, I know. But I find it funny, alright? And I can do it. And I don't give a shit, because, they're like the lowest of the lowest dudes ever. They are like, I believe they are almost lost in the running campaign. So they are like, they don't even have enough. They normally have like 2 or 3 people at most sitting in their, chairs of the parliament. And I'm a very happy person, because I always like, yeah, I'm gonna vote for them. Why? I don't give a shit about the rest. I only care about hippies, because hippies are fun. So yeah, I really like I really like, the the group of the animals. It's a fun group. It's like Greenpeace, but then less extreme. And I don't mind voting for them. No, actually not. So yeah, voting for somebody who's for the animals, then, well, I don't mind. At least they're also for green energy and stuff. So yeah, I'd rather vote for somebody who has some knowledge of it than, going back to the old days of, parliaments. But that's enough saying for politics, I guess. That's how I run politics. I only vote for people that are looking good or acting good, or have a fun little thing, like the well, group of animals, being for animals, and then realizing, like, well, what are you gonna do now? Well, I'm gonna eat some hamburger, and then, I'm gonna vote for them. Well, eating the hamburger, of course. I love the bees. So I love that I can do that. And then, you meet all the other people again in the voting quarter, and it's like, what are you gonna vote for? Well, I hate the immigrants again, so I'm gonna be doing that again. I'm gonna be voting for that parliament that hates the immigrants as well, because that's all the farmers do. They always will vote for the people that hate the immigrant, the thing that wants to get rid of the immigrants. I love this country. It's so like, yeah, we like to have freedom of speech. Yeah, that is indeed a thing that we have. No, everybody respects everybody, regardless of what their opinion is. And, well, I think that's a good thing. And I always like the farmers. They really talk funny. They always talk funny. They always have this lovely accent with them. And normally, you meet them only you only meet them once the voting is coming, because they're always busy, too busy with their own fields. But yeah, it's a quite funny thing that I'm able to vote and then be able to vote for something that is ridiculous, considered like, well, why would you vote? You could also not vote if you're gonna go for voting like that. It's like you're not even taking your vote seriously. Yes, true, but I don't mind. It's my thing. It's my way of how I can make joy of my life. Come on, don't you want to have joy in your life? That's the first step to being happy with yourself. And being happy with yourself increase your motivation and increases your thoughts and your strengths and all that stuff. So if you're happy, then other people are going to be happy. And if other people are happy, well, more people are going to be happy. And the more people who are going to be happy, the better you get. Because, happiness spreads like a fucking plague. Which is good. So yeah. Good I got that out of my chest. That's great. I really, 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 really like, working with this. I really like it. I'm very happy how far I already am. And we're just, building up our lovely thing here. We're not even there. We're just, getting the details in, and details take forever. Like boom, forever. We're now halfway done. Well, I guess that's a compliment. We're halfway done. And once we're halfway done, that means that we're almost there. Because then we can finally start with something new. Let me just take a quick look. Well, we're half an hour. We're an hour in, and well, we're halfway there. Now I have been talking already for an hour. Well, probably my voice is gonna be horrible at night, but well, better have a horrible voice at night than have a horrible voice in the morning. Well, not at night, of course, at 7 o'clock, but at night at, after 8 or something, 12, whatever. At 0000 time. Anyway, so since that we're doing stuff, allow me to pick up a book, I guess. Book, get over here, you piece of junk. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, big giant books are heavy, really heavy. Hold on, need to grab a book, cooking book. Awesome. So, wait a minute. Alright, so there is it. There was the book. So, this is a great book. And I'll tell you why it's a great book. Because I can just go to a book page and see like what the hell do I have? Well, I will go for page whatever 209. Yes, awesome. Look at that, that's awesome. So, what is this book all about? Well, this book is about eating. And apparently there is this thing that is called eggs. So I have these eggs that is like, a dedication. Apparently there is a way to create eggs with beans. Apparently that's a thing. It's a Catalaanse ei-schotel. Ei-bonenschotel. Catalaanse ei-bonenschotel. So it's beans with bloody damn eggs into it. I must say that's actually quite interesting to see that something like that could happen. And then of course, I have pictures. So it's like, ooh, because everybody loves a picture book. Anyhow, me thinking what I do now. I have been talking already for more than an hour and I'm a little bit empty here, but eh. Alright, cool. Oh, well, that's bad. So, mhm. So yeah. Mhm. Oh my god, I'm empty. No, it cannot be. It cannot be. Alright, fine. Let me tell you about the story what I did in high school. Not in high school. The school afterwards. So I went to laboratorium laboratorium science to become a laboratorium labyrinth. So a person who works at the lab. But I totally failed at that. All right, I totally failed at that, and I could not keep up with the pace because it was really hard. The math was really hard, and I was outskilled. Also, it didn't help that I had people that also didn't help that I was terrible at uh, understanding stuff there, and well, not making not enough friends. So yeah, I fixed that by then going to another school. This school is actually a second high school, so it's a place where you can not redo but increase your diploma to get to from HBO to VAVO or something like that. So it's HBO or from VAVO to HAVO or from VMBO-T to to VAVO. So I did that. I actually increased my thing. But the most epic thing was, all right, the most epic thing was that about that I made friends with the place that I'm always at. So every single time when the school was out, I always was overworking at the uh, at the place where when I have free time, I always went to a place where everything was quiet. And of course, there were also other people with the same problem that they had needed a place where it was quiet. So I had like these little chit chats and all these little thoughts and things. And then you get these people that talk about stuff and all that stuff. And eventually, you know, the exams came and all that stuff came around, and I was like, well, I still need to do redo one or two of these things, two of the things, because apparently I'm terrible at exams, alright? So, the funny thing is, I actually succeeded at one of these exams with almost absolute power. The math, which I'm actually quite bad at, I had an exam that was actually like I scored an 8 out of 10, so that's like a lot. And how did I do that? Well, I switched over at the exam period. So I switched over from the at the exam period from mathematics B to mathematics A, which is totally different, by the way. So instead of what does B mean, it went to, well, too bad you don't know B, but you know how to read a graphics map, and you know what the chance of a lottery winning card is. The winning prize number is the chance of having that winning prize number. And the funny thing was that I dedicated a whole year of only learning the exams. All right, only learning the exams. Oh, well, I learned all this stuff from the school, but after school I actually had 2 hours straight. I was actually working on exams. So it was every single time exam, exam, exam after the school was done. So I did a lot of doing that, and instantly, of course it was really hard for me to do the exams, and seeing how that improved my learning was because every single time I did an exam, I got more stuff right. And then once finally the exam came, I was actually, how do I say this? Oh, I know. I will say it in a song. So yeah, that's how I learned the damn. Oh, that's how I made sure that the exam was correct. I actually was so fucking hyper happy that, and every single thing was just like, oh, this is just how I daydream that. Oh, yes, I just need to daydream about this and daydream about that. And then, oh my god, I can just fix this and that and this and that. Oh my god, this is just like how I did that beforehand. Oh, I remember. And, you know, everything went from, I don't mind if I do. Oh, this is an easy one. And this is an easy one. And this is an easy one. And so it went totally like, boom. I know everything. So afterwards, I scored an 8.5. I scored an 8.5 in total on the exam of Mathematics A. And the teacher was like, see, I told you you were good at this. And I was like, yeah, but I did not expect this to happen. Alright? I always would teach that I'm terrible at mathematics. Well, apparently I'm terrible at looking at letters. I am not terrible at predicting and when will this strike and when will, Billy get his 3 apples from the lady in the store. If she also gave Sandra 2 apples as well. And then, you have this whole damn thing about, apple business. But yeah, I actually I actually learned how to do exams because, as you know, I'm a terrible person when it comes to writing things down. My vocabulary is limited. I am like not good at not vocal conversations, and I have like really hard dyslexia, or I have a really hard dyslexic problem that I cannot see like, oh, I need to do this or that or this and that, and nothing will be perfect. I will most likely fuck up in all cases when it comes to oh well, you need to write down what you think about this, and it's like, well, you want me to write down what I think of it or what you want me to think of it? And that is a really hard thought for me to process most of the time. It's like, are you now saying that I need to do this, or do I need to now do this my way? And if I'm doing it my way, you're not gonna get it, but I will get it. So, hey, it's at least a thing. So yeah, I kind of fixed my problems by how do you say that? I had like a lot of problems with the exams, especially the Dutch exam. That was a pain in the ass to do. Ugh. We had to write down a summary. Well, the worst thing with the summary is that I am not good at writing summaries in the beginning with, and I write down like this. Timmy went to the bar. Timmy did this. Timmy spoke to this person. Apparently, the place where Timmy was at a store. Timmy bought 5 apples. The end. So, it's not a summary how Timmy went to the store and met his mother. No, it's all about what Timmy did. And Timmy did that. And then boom. That's the end. No side plots. No, oh no, the mother of Timmy was, almost, had almost a car accident. No, that did not happen, according to my story. Apparently, the father of Timmy is actually a hard-working man who likes to play soccer with Timmy. No, that's not true. That's all a lie. So yeah, I am not good at writing summaries because I read things that I don't read. Apparently, I read words that don't exist. I I see things that don't exist, and then somehow, you get this really obnoxious summary about somehow, strict words that only rely on Timmy, and well, you don't get the points of the story. It's actually quite hilarious that I am that terrible at writing a summary. It's like, what did you do today? Well, I went to the store, I bought a book, and then, I was walking with the dog, and then I took the bike and went with the bike somewhere, and then I went to bed. Or well, had dinner and went to bed. The end. So, did you meet anybody? I don't know. So yeah, the whole thing of the whole problem with the summary was that I was like, yeah, you score a 3. What? Then I cannot pass my. Then I cannot pass my. I cannot get my diploma. So I had to redo it a year long. So I had a year to do this again, and I was like, oh my god, I need to really write summaries. No. So yeah, I had to redo some stuff. I had to relearn some stuff, and well, in that part-time period, I was so fucking happy that I got a 5 out of that. I was like, oh my god, I have a 5. All right, that's it. I'm done. Nobody's talking about this anymore. Goodbye. So yeah, that's how much I hate writing some. Well, I don't hate it. I'm really sucky at it. So yeah. Anyway, that's how things work. That's how things work in my stories. I'm uh, I'm a total well, not a very good person when it came to learning stuff that did not came from a book. So my normal social interactions at that school were like limited to only certain types of people. So I had like 4 or 5 people I talked to, and then the next year I had nobody to talk to until a certain time. So, well, I did had some people, but they were not like immediately talkative towards me. I had to go to them. And so eventually, I met this girl who was writing fanfics about the Avatar, if I'm correct. And I actually went. She wrote decent. She wrote a decent story in my eyes. And well, weirdly enough, once I went to look for another how do you say, another not story, another uh, job to learn. Yes, there you go. A new place where you can learn how to do jobs. The after high school, the place, the college. Yes, I was looking for a new college place for getting a new diploma of things. So I actually went to a school where they learned how to work on a boat. And weirdly enough, she was also there. So after, I believe, 2 years, I actually meet her again, which was actually quite fun. That I actually meet her again. Like, huh, weird that this happens. Of course, it was nothing for me, but I was just interesting to see what kind of opportunities I could get there and how that works. But it was a good place, though. Don't get me wrong. It was a really nice place, and it was a real cool place to be. Then after that, we had a lot of stuff going on. Then we had the accident of, oh no, I need to find a job, and nobody can give me a job. Great, that kind of stuff. I actually worked back then. I worked actually at the McDonald's for 2 years long, and in those 2 years, I was literally bored out of my fucking mind. I was like, Oh no, new people. Well, I was always happy, I made some friends there, but it was a really boring job. What I actually needed to do was, clean all the stuff up, like toilets, bark, whatever. Children that, leave their stuff behind, and and then you also had like to be nice to people that were really rude. And I was like, technically I could have totally burned your fucking face in right now by, saying mean words in your face and say like, oh, psych, burn. But no, I needed to be nice. But yeah, I always were fully exhausted afterwards because of I cannot handle lots of people and I cannot handle stress very good. So I actually collapse on the I don't collapse on the ground, but I'm getting like sleepy and stuff, and then you get really, 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 really tired. Of course, after 2 years, people were saying like, you're too old, go away," and it's like, what? All right, well, you're lost, and I was never seen there again, so that's good. So yeah, I believe, yeah, that's the whole damn thing of it. I'm really happy that how far I already am at it, and of course, the school to get my own diploma of 3D modeling was actually quite a nice place. It was relaxing, not too much stress, decent homework, knowing how to get the homework, and well, I'm a very, very happy person when it comes to these things. Of course, once everything is done, you realize like, what did you do most of the time when you were at school? And then you realize like, what did I do? Well, technically I drew. Huh. Why did you drew so much? Because not I'm a really distractive person when it comes to listening to stuff. I can listen to people while drawing. I can listen to people's conversation while sitting and doing nothing, because I'm really invading somebody's privacy when it comes to, you're on a train and you listen to every conversation and you know exactly what every conversation is all about. That's me. And then I get really exhausted by it because I'm listening to every conversation, because apparently in my mind, I must listen. I must listen to every conversation because apparently they're all interesting, regardless of the subject. Even if little Barry got himself a new child, I don't give a shit. Apparently that's interesting. Even if Hank is getting married, well, that's interesting. The funny thing is actually that I had like this blind girl all the time when I was on the train process in the going to my 3D to my college to get my 3D diploma. I actually always met this girl, all right, who was very energetic, very happy always, and she always had to go off at one station before I'm going to the next, before I transfer from one train to the other to get to the place that I want to be. And she actually competed in archery, even though she was blind on one eye and was getting even more blind as time passed by. So she was already having trouble looking, but eventually, she will go blind. And it was actually quite fun to see her being very enthusiastic about archery, and it was quite fun to hear about what she did. And I also said to her like, maybe you should try to shoot some cans and see how far they penetrate to a soda can. And it's like, oh my god, I totally want to do that. And then the next day she shows me pictures about what she did, and I was like, well, that's goddamn amazing. So I always had like, I always had to wait for, to be her to hop on the train because it's like, uh, she went in two stations, uh, in, and then after two stations she was out. So I had like six stations, and then at the last two stations she finally came in, and then she came out. And sometimes she brought a friend with her, and sometimes she doesn't. It was actually quite fun to hear about her competing in competing in in the sports, which was actually quite amazing. Even though she had bad eyesight, she was still competing with lots of people on the archery level at the archery range, which was actually quite cool to hear. Then that was actually quite cool. And the funny thing is, every single time I went, from the from when I arrived at my destination, I was always 1 hour too early. Yes, 1 whole hour too early. Because I always said to myself, better to be early than late. And the funny thing is that always my train always has this delay. So it's either gonna be an hour too late or an hour too early. So either I arrive on time or I arrive 1 hour too early. In that time, I actually learned how to play piano sometimes. It's like I learned two basic, two basic, two basic, how do you say, basic songs. So actually, I am. Oh, interesting. I actually did not finish this one. Huh. Well, let's finish it up then. Hold on. Just in case I need it. Alright, going back to black, and then go here and then draw the line. What? That's too thick, but there you go. Now go back in and then boom. So yeah, it was actually quite nice that I actually know how to play piano, even though I only know 2 songs. Technically, I know 2 songs. Sometimes I get them wrong. I only need to take a quick look at it, and everything goes back again. So well, that happens. Anyway, let's see. 17 o'clock. So only 30 minutes left. Yeah, 30 minutes left. Well, technically 33 minutes left, and then we can call it a day. It's so relaxing to hear nothing. This place where I live, I don't even hear a screaming baby near me. Nope, I don't even hear somebody working. It's always so quiet here. It's always like dead quiet. It's like I'm living near a graveyard, even though there is no graveyard. I don't mind it either. I always like having nobody talking or nobody saying anything, because then I can just imagine stuff, and then everything comes alive anyway, because my mind is that, well, my mind is that not progressive, but that determined to see stuff. So even though you don't see anything or hear anything, it's still like, oh well, your mind is just gonna make up stuff, and then it's actually quite funny to see. Like, imagination is really powerful, a really powerful tool. You can use it to pass boredom, whatever you need. And I really like using my imagination, either for art or for passing by boredom. Or you want to go on a bike to your friends. Well, what you gonna do? You're gonna listen to music? Puh. That's so cool of you. I'm just listening to my own imagination and then, having a nice conversation about how this is supposed to be working. Like, how does the sun work? Well, apparently it works like this, and then, that's how the conversation is gonna go. Anyway, let's look at that. That's awesome. Ooh, oh yeah. A little bit tired, but well, I'm not tired. It's more like, I'm working for 2 hours straight long without taking a break. Of course, you can do that. 2 hours of work is nothing, especially if you're working on this kind of thing. These things, these bloody damn annoying piece of garbage things, the textures, they are the hardest things to draw. Why? Because, well, they're textures. They really screw you over if you don't do it correctly. And I don't mind using textures, but I do mind making them because they really create stuff, and I really like having this effect on it. And as you can see, the more I work with it, the more you can see with it, and the more you can see, the better it gets. Well, that's the idea at least. And also I can do like this and be like, oh well, I need to have this now. Yes, true. It's quite funny to see like how much stuff can be done by just, using textures. I must say though, once the color is getting into this one, that's when the texture is actually gonna shine big time. Because because we're having this texture here, and we already, if you look at it already, you can see the skills. But once we're gonna add, lighting, coloration differences, then oh, that's gonna be a big giant. Oh yeah, be like, mm, 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 hot dang, and then everything is gonna be good. So it's all gonna be flabberdelicious. I don't know, words like that. Things that would describe being fucking amazing without the word, the F word. Just get better at making good words. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be the awesomeness of awesomeness. That's gonna be it. Yeah, there you go. Just describe the word double, and then, things will make more sense. That's according to my book. Johan Logic. Very important. My logic. My logic is not the best. I'll tell you that. But my logic never proves me wrong. Why? I don't know. Probably because it's tired to tell me what to do. Yeah. And I can now put it like this and then zoom in again. Easy. And as I said, a little bit less. Boop, 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 boop. There you go. That's better. Also, we need to save just in case. And how far are we already? Because that's the question here. Ooh, only 1, 2. Only 2 to go. That's 2-ish. 2-ish, yes. And I must say, the most fun thing I have with this drawing is drawing the texture, because the texture makes me look at it like, oh damn, that looks awesome, or yes, yes please. Of course, producing a lot of, producing these live streams might not increase the viewer count, truly. That's not how YouTube works, I know. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit how many viewers I got. I care only about that the people who watch it are amazed and happy that they see it, and how great they are for seeing it, because that means that, these people actually care about it. These people look at it and say like, wow, or these people say like, nice. And that makes them day. That makes their day. And well, as long as they are happy, I am happy, and if I'm happy, then well, everybody is going to be happy, and if everybody's going to be happy, well, then this world is a happy place, and that's also important. I'm just happy that everybody, who looks at this is like, oh, nice. So yeah, having a whole damn conversation about, what did we actually had about? We had actually a lot of conversations though, even though talking is like not my strong suit. It's good to have like a story about life stories and life lessons, even though my life lessons are more like, well, how to talk and how to approach the government, how to be nice with them, how to make friends with them, that's most of my stories about. It's like, finding ways into the sand to abuse or use whatever, suits my need to get to point A to point B, because point B was really hard to get. Anyhow, that is my favorite stuff. This creation of mine, this hard work. My hand. Yep, I need to do some walking later. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing another 6-kilometer walk today because I'm a little bit out of shape. Apparently, living under a rock for almost a year is not very good for your health. And I didn't even know that it was a year already passing. So yeah, I should definitely do that. I should definitely, get my stuff back up. Get yourself back up. Because it's an idiot move to not take care of your body if you are not prone to, even if you're not prone to getting thick or, getting fat, it's still important to keep yourself in shape. Why? Because that creates a healthy mindset, and healthy mindset makes you, well, think healthy. And thinking healthy is important to, once this whole damn thing is gonna be going away and blowing away. Everything is gonna be, it's not gonna be all the same, but it would be nice if somebody's gonna see a ripped guy walking across the street and says, nice! That is a good idea. Of course, I'm not gonna be the ripped guy. I'm also not gonna be the nice person. I'm gonna be the person that's gonna be like, I am finally able to sit without my tummy gonna be go rumbly. Yeah, that's me. I'm doing it for my tummy. I'm doing it because my tummy hurts. Well, my tummy hurts because I have too much air in my tummy, and well, that really hurts my my thinking and my process of sleeping, and I need to get rid of that. That's why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it for my own self. I'm not doing it for my improved body. I'm not gonna be doing it because I'm really strong and powerful man who likes to go to the gym all night. No. I'm the opposite. I'm just a guy who just sits at the computer and be like, I'm gonna play the game. I'm gonna play a game today, and I'm gonna complete the game in 1 hour. Oh yeah, let's do this. Or I'm the ET specialist who knows nothing about ET and then talks about cows all day. I don't know. I am your typical, librarian person. The person that's sitting at the librarian and be like, "Huh, this book is actually quite good. It's all about minerals." So yeah, I'm not a very interesting person to be around with sometimes, because it's either me just being boring or me just having an epic outrage of being way too happy. I had that once when I went to amusement park. I was in such a silly mood that I was just I was skipping some of the rocks. I was just walking and I was like, "Oh, these rocks. Ah, yes, not touch the black ones. Only touch the white ones." And then do the opposite at the end of the path. It's like, you know, being so happy that you don't give a shit if people look at you for doing silly stuff. I even once what did I do? Oh yeah, I went to the amusement park and I was with my friends, and my friends were like, you technically should have gone with us as a group, because that's what group means. That's what a group of friends mean. If you're gonna go to an amusement park, you're supposed to do it with your friends and wait in line with your friends, because that's how you do socializing. And I'm like, interesting. Yes, yes. Slowly moving backwards to the single line and be like, yes, interesting. Yeah, I had no concept of being social. So I went into the single line. I was in the attraction 9 times, and they only went once. And I was like, "This is a new record! Oh my god, guys, I did a new record!" And everybody was like, instantly like, these nasty eye looking like. And then I was like, "Alright, fine, alright, you got me, you got me. I will go with you guys, alright? You're happy now?" Because I have no concept of, if I see something and I want to go on I want to go into an attraction, I always go into the single line. Because I don't give a shit who I'm with. I'm always fucking happy, and I even meet fucking amazing people in the single line. I'm always like, "Hey, nice to be with you today." Upon, "Yes. So, what are you doing for a living?" "Well, just the casual stuff." "Ah, nice." And then we are like, "Well, is this your first time?" "Yeah." "Did you know that this thing goes this thing goes like 320 kilometers per hour?" It's like, "Yeah, I know, but yeah." Um, it's it's lovely to have conversations with people like, and then people are like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" But I don't give a shit. But yeah, it was the first time I ever got with my friends to amusement park, and yeah, for the first time, I must say I did a pretty good job at totally not blew it, because I might be the person that always went into the single lines, but I eventually, other people went also with me into the single lines, and that was actually quite nice. I actually had some friends be like, "You know what? I'm gonna give this also a try." And then we had like this whole conversation about, the single line magic, and then it's like, "Oh my god, that's amazing! Single line magic! Oh, so how does this work?" "Well, according to my calculations, we should be able to, I think, 4 times go into this attraction, uh, as long as the lines are keeping up." huh. So, wanna do a bet? And then it's like, no, I'm not doing a bet today. I'm not feeling that silly. But I will tell you this. I will make sure that I have good hopes that we will be able to do this 4 times before they will even get into it. And yes, of course, it was 4 times because we were counting the bloody damn people going in a single line. We were like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 20 people there are 20 people in the train, and there are only, and every single time in the single line there's gonna be 5 people gone. So we're gonna take, and then we'll have this calculation of being. uh, Having calculations about, how the single line works. It was so bullshit. I loved it so much. Having just, insane luck in a single line was amazing. So like, yeah, we went 4 times, and everybody was like, "Are you kidding me? We waited an hour to get once in, and you guys went 4 times in a row together?" Yes, yes, we did, and we had no problems whatsoever. Because we always had, like, you had these 2 cards, and always we had the problem that we were always facing each other. So every single time we went split up, we had blue and red. So we had 2 cars, and those 2 cars start at the same point. And the funny thing was, like, yeah, every single time we never went into the same car, if I believe so myself. And we always, like, teasing each other, like, yeah, I'm gonna win this time. And then she was like, no, I'm gonna win. And then it's like, all right, have a good time. And then we switch, and then I switch back to, the person that sits next to me. It's like, so how are you doing today? It's like, I guess I'm doing pretty fine. It's like, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Don't you worry. This thing doesn't go fast. One time there was a child who was afraid of the ride, and I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be fine. This is gonna be glorious fun." And of course, I always went, like, with the hands, like, waving, like, "Woo, ah, woo," and it was amazing. It's like a wooden roller coaster that goes in 2 tracks, and then the one that's gonna be the first one the one that's on the finish line the first is gonna be winning. They won against the dragon. The other one didn't. So once you enter the place, and you lost, it's like, ah, ooh, boo, ah, that's exactly the soundtrack that's played. And once you win, it's like, yeah, woo, yeah. So you do the casual wrestling applause, like, yeah, thank you, man. Look at my biceps, yeah. So, it was fucking amazing. Just 4 fucking times I was able to pull that off. And every single time we went in the line, we told each other the stories about how we won or how we lost. And then, I was saying things like, I think it has to do something with the tracks. Come on. Not I was always losing on the losing end, so I was like, it has to do something with the tracks. I think this place is rigged. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. I already have run my analysis upon this party. It's like, well, could you please tell me about it? Well, I don't know. Are you smart enough for this? Ah, yes, I'm smart enough for this. All right, let me just give you the quick heads up how I did it. It's so stupid. Yeah. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah. That's what you get when you try to do stuff. You just, you might be a fucking silly person when it comes to, doing stuff, but holy fucking hell. If you just put aside all the stuff that you have not tried and then try them, it's quite fun. I also like to go on the outside of the of the attractions most of the time. So on the backside. So I did that as one. I did that also as once, like, you know, in a full dark attraction that I was actually on the outside. So the funny thing was, there was actually a person with me, one of my a friend of a friend, who was with me, and I believe she was afraid of the attraction itself, possibly. So I was constantly talking about that you need to watch your head in the attraction because it's actually quite small. You know, you if you are too high, you might be able to hit your head on the boss because you can actually see the boss once you're in the ride because it's like not fully dark. It is actually, you know, flashing lights and all that stuff. So the funny thing was, like, you know, you really need to watch your head. You know that, and then instantly she's like, "Stop it already!" It's like, "All right, all right, all right." And then, you know, the soundtrack is playing, dun 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 dun, and then, you know, of course I'm gonna be singing along with the soundtrack because, you know, there's nothing better to do than, you know, singing with the soundtrack while riding a roller coaster in the dark, singing that singing the soundtrack song that sounds like, you know, um like Jaws. uh, Never gets old, never fucking gets old. Let me save for a bit. Well, I guess, you know, we're almost done, so I'm very happy how far I already got here, and my voice is getting low. That means probably gonna be doing some stuff here later on. Oh well. So yeah, I'm very happy how far I got, and what we did was awesome. Nowadays, you know, you cannot go to an attraction because you no longer can go to a theme park because, well, you know, everything is on lockdown. But back in the days, it was all good. Ah, looks like I got a message. I will say. Nope. Ben Basic. There you go. So yeah, that was a little notification, and well, you know, always need to make sure that, you know, people get that I'm busy. But yeah, so what is he gonna be typing now? Busy is a state of mind. Well, you know, busy is a state of mind. Well, I am busy drawing, so yeah, I will not be disturbed. Thank you. I will put the notification on hold, so I will be doing the away button then, since that I have a feeling that he's not gonna be. He's probably gonna be trolling me on that part. So yeah, making sure that, you know, you don't fuck that up. Let's see. I'm busy with Krita and I'm away, so I won't get the bleep bloops. Thank you. But yeah, the amount of stuff I got, the amount of stuff I did, it's awesome. So next time when I try to do stuff, uh, well, at least we're actually quite far now with this. Took me quite a while, you know, 2 hours of drawing textures. That's a lot of hours done. And we're not even 2 hours in actually. We're now 1 hour and 40 minutes in. So I'll I think my my thought thinking thought we're not able to get this to 40 minutes, right? Well, maybe we are, maybe we aren't. I believe we are able to do this in 40 minutes, but in 20, no, in 10 minutes, but well, I hope. My hopes are that I am able to do it. Of course, you know, we're gonna change up the color later on. But you know, For now, we're gonna use red. Why we're gonna use red? Because it stands out and I can then see the lines that I'm drawing. Oh, and I made a mistake here. I drew it way wrong. I drew this part way wrong. And erase. I drew it like a square. That's terrible. If I draw like a square, the whole damn thing will be notified. Like, you know, it won't look like scales. That's the main problem. So now we can, move onwards to here. So yeah, so far so good. I totally lost my voice right now. I'm actually cracking. That's too much talking. Apparently 2 hours of talking makes my voice go bad. Huh. Who knew? I didn't. Oh man, I smell the fucking food being cooked. Oh, that's so good. Mom is busy making food, so it's always great when she makes food. She always makes the best. I'm like the second best cook in my house, but she makes good food. My little sister cannot cook. My father cannot. Well, my little sister can cook, but she's always lazy, and she's no longer in the house, so she now needs to provide the food for our she now needs to provide food for her boyfriend. Her boyfriend and she and her boyfriend actually bought a house and remade it, which was amazing. And still is amazing. She's now actually currently on duty, so that's lovely. I believe she's back into. I believe they went to Norway again. Probably. Don't know, but probably she will be. The Norwegian seas are indeed a good place to train vessels. But yeah, it's great to see lots of stuff happening. The world is not gone. Nope, the world is still there, and you should care about it because you only have one Earth, and Earth is pretty rare. And trust me, Earth is very scary when you fuck it up, because the Earth can actually help itself recover. All right, it did it. It did it once. You don't want that again. Trust me. Lots of people are gonna die for it. So yeah. And I'm not drawing it in red. Oh, I am drawing it in red. Oh, thank God. Oh, you sneaky son of a bitch. You made me almost think that I did not draw it in red. Oh, you little... It's like, watching black and white and then, seeing this little reddish brown or reddish gray being there. And there you go, you have done none. How long? 9 minutes. I can do this. I fucking believe in myself. Oh, come on. Awesome. That looks fucking amazing. I'll tell you that. Nice. Of course, I'm not fully done, but my hand is not working. I will take a break on this one. And then, tomorrow we will finish this off. Alright. I think that's it for today. That looks actually quite cool. Let me just get to the right amount of zoom on this thing. Yep, that looks amazing. That looks freaking amazing. Nice. So if we now take a look at, there you go. Put this down. Put that there. Yeah, that looks so cool. All right, so I'm gonna save it right now on this one, so that we have everything. Cool. All right. That's it for today. I hope you all have enjoyed, and look at that. That looks awesome. Awesome. I hope you all enjoyed for today, and yeah, I wish you all a great day today, and until the next time, I guess. My voice is so fucking cracking right now. I have talked way too much. Anyway, well, have a nice day all. Bye.